Félix.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ça va? Comment
Ça
ça
va et
va?
toi?
Ça va bien. Bon.
Super.
Bon.
Ton français est bon, hein?
Mon français n'est pas bon.
Sí, se puede. No es tan difícil.
Sí, tienes buen español.
Sí. Welcome, Felix. Thank you for your time to make yourself available for this 60 minutes that we're going to spend together.
Sure.
We're very excited to have you here. If I'm not mistaken, you joined eXp 2 years ago, August 2023. So, and you've seen obviously a whirlwind of change, and you have also this mindset of a tech company. You're helping grow in many countries. So we're very excited to have you here. Maybe you want to give a little introduction about yourself.
Of course. I love to, maybe what I'll do here is I'll give you a little bit of my background, how I got into real estate, how I ended up in eXp. Is that okay?
It's fine. It's good.
Perfect. So I was born in Caracas in Venezuela. That's why I speak Spanish. So I was born there, and I lived there for about 7 or 8 years before moving to Miami, Florida, where I'm currently based out of now. And you know, my mom was a lawyer in Venezuela, and then when we moved to the United States, obviously she didn't want to go to law school all over again. She didn't speak English, and so she did what everybody
Let me
does.
translate a little bit if you don't mind. En fait, donc Félix, il est originaire du Venezuela. Sa maman était avocate là-bas. Please keep going.
My mom did what everyone does when they don't know what to do, and that's become a real estate agent and start trying to sell houses. So she became an agent, and in that process, I learned quite a lot about real estate. And so when I graduated from high school, I got into real estate as well, and I started in the new development sector. So I sold a lot of new construction projects here in South Florida pretty early on.
Après le lycée, il a tout de suite commencé l'immobilier en fait.
And in that time, that was like 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, for 4 or 5 years, I oversaw 5 different projects. I became a sales director. I had a team of 12 agents. We had something like $250 million in inventory. And we sold quite a lot in the international markets because it's Miami. So a lot to South Americans, a lot of French, a lot of Canadians, and a lot of Europeans in general.
Donc, il était basé à Miami et c'est là où il a vendu à beaucoup de clients internationaux, donc des Canadiens, mais aussi des Français, puisqu'il avait une grosse clientèle internationale sur place.
I had a real estate company, small luxury brand. We had like 35 agents, and I was coming to eXp just as a team leader, actually. Like I was just
Il est arrivé dès le début en tant que chef d'équipe. Voilà, il avait monté sa boîte, une petite boutique immobilière plutôt axée sur le luxe.
And in that process of coming on board with my team, I met some of the leadership at eXp, right? I met Leo, our CEO. I met Glenn, our founder, and a couple of other leaders at eXp.
Dans le process, il a rencontré les grands patrons de eXp.
Yep. Okay. And during that time, in that process of meeting them, they sold me this idea of helping them grow in Florida and working on the corporate team. And at first,
ils m'ont vendu l'idée de les aider sur la Floride, voilà, pour l'équipe institutionnelle et aider en support pour développer toute la Floride, uniquement la Floride.
And even though originally I didn't really want to be on corporate staff because I'm more of an entrepreneur and more building my own businesses.
C'est pas son truc au départ. C'est plus un entrepreneur, donc c'est pas quelqu'un qui voulait être sur les fonctions support.
Learning more about what their vision was and what they wanted to accomplish and what eXp offered agents. That's what convinced me of coming on board as corporate.
Ce qui m'a convaincu, c'est quand j'ai compris la vision de Glenn et de Léo sur ce qu'ils voulaient accomplir.
So we I joined on board in August, I believe, of 2023 as the director of growth for Florida. So I oversaw all of our growth and expansion efforts within Florida, where we have, I think now about 10,000 agents.
Je me suis occupé des 10 000 agents qu'il y avait sur la Floride dès le début.
Yeah, and I was doing that for about 6 or 7 months, and we brought on board some of the biggest teams that Florida has ever seen, and we had a pretty
J'ai
explosive.
fait ça pendant 6-7 mois et on a on a fait rentrer chez eXp les plus grosses équipes qu'on n'avait jamais eues.
And so because of that, the opportunity for me to join the international team came on board, right? And
C'est comme ça que, en fait, depuis l'équipe américaine, eh ben, j'ai pu rejoindre l'équipe eXp International.
And so I became the vice president of international growth in early 2024.
Donc en 2024, au début 2024, je suis devenu le vice-président de la croissance internationale.
And I was overseeing all of the expansion. And so international hadn't opened up a new country in close to 2 years, actually, at that time. And so my goal was to get us back into expansion, get us back into growing, and obviously partnering with Glenn, who was very focused on international at the time. And that's how you see we brought on board.
Donc, je travaille avec Glenn, qui était très concentré sur l'international, donc Glenn Sanford, qui est notre CEO, et de remettre eXp sur le développement à l'international, parce qu'ils avaient un petit peu arrêté.
And since then we've been growing and expanding, and obviously there's been a lot of changes that we've done on the international side of the house, a lot of AI integration, a lot of new markets, new countries, even the type of agents we bring on board has changed. So we've seen a lot of fantastic growth. We grew 60% in 2024. This year we're probably
60% de croissance en 2024.
Yeah, this year we'll probably do even more than that. And we've opened up through Turkey, Ecuador, and we're about to open up Japan and Korea.
Turquie, l'Équateur, et on est sur le point d'ouvrir. Which country you say you're about to open?
Japan and Korea in September.
Japan, donc le Japon et la Corée qui sur la liste, voilà, sur le starting block en fait.
Yeah, so all exciting stuff.
Thank you for sharing all this, and thank you to give us some insight about the mindset. You see, this is eXp. Starting from Florida, he had no intention of going abroad, going international, and here he is, leading us, inspiring us. This is the mindset, and this is the vision we have at eXp. We're very entrepreneurial focus and mindset of an entrepreneur. So just to understand, I mean, we're going to delve into AI because eXp is a tech company. Obviously, we're listed on the Nasdaq. Voilà, on va aussi parler de la tech, hein, de tout ce qui est intelligence artificielle, parce que, comme vous le savez, on est coté au Nasdaq, au même titre qu'Apple, Google ou Facebook. Donc, c'est vrai que, eh bien, c'est des éléments qui sont importants pour nous. Mais d'abord, je voudrais avoir la vision et son sens du leadership. What is your overarching vision for eXp International expansion in the next 5 years, especially as you pursue the goal of 50 countries and 50,000 agents globally? Quelle vision tu as pour eXp International dans les 5 prochaines années? Je crois que vous voulez être dans 50 pays et avec 50 000 agents. Thank you.
We have a goal of growing to 50,000 agents, and you need to have a why as to why do we want to be the biggest, why do we want to have that many agents. And
il faut avoir un pourquoi pour grandir.
The reality is a lot of the international real estate market is extremely unprofessional, very unregulated, very informal. And for
La
us,
majorité des marchés internationaux ne sont pas encore très professionnalisés.
For us, we see our opportunity here is to help partner with the top agents around the world, offer them the opportunity to be a part of the largest independent real estate company in the world, and help professionalize those markets through expansion, through growth, and ultimately through helping our agents grow their businesses.
Ce qu'on veut faire, c'est se concentrer sur les gros producteurs et les aider à grandir et avec des outils dernier cri, des outils professionnels. How do you cultivate and empower local leadership in new markets to ensure long-term agent success? Comment tu cultives et tu donnes ce leadership local dans les nouveaux marchés pour s'assurer une croissance à long terme? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. eXp is obviously founded and started in the United States, but now we're operating in 27 plus countries and
On est dans 27 pays aujourd'hui.
and we take everything that works about eXp and the technology and tools and the system and the model and all those things into different countries. But the way you sell a home in France is not the way you sell a home in Spain or in Colombia or in
On prend
Dubai.
les outils, mais les outils locaux sont différents. On ne vend pas une maison de la même manière en Colombie ou en France, évidemment.
So what we have to do is we have to partner with in-class experts, in-market experts such as Samuel Coe, the country leader for France, who understand what a French agent needs to be successful. And then we localize our business model, we localize our tools and our systems to kind of make this blend of everything that makes us eXp plus all the systems, tools, etc. that an agent in France needs to be successful. And that's how we localize.
Des agents, ils prennent des agents en chef de pays, donc country leader, qui connaissent vraiment l'immobilier, j'allais dire, de fond en comble. Et c'est le cas ici avec Samuel Coe, évidemment, en France. Et puis la deuxième partie, c'est avoir des outils appropriés pour développer le marché. What type of tools, if we move into innovation and technology, how has technology, and I really want to make sure that we have a good understanding of AI and tech tools, but how has technology, especially cloud-based and AI-powered systems, transformed the way eXp enables agents across international market? Comment l'intelligence artificielle a transformé les agents, le travail des agents au quotidien?
Yes, there's a lot of different ways, and I think it's not just in real estate; it's in every single business sector in the world.
C'est pas uniquement l'immobilier, c'est dans tous les domaines.
Is being transformed by artificial intelligence, and so eXp very famously has been a disruptor and a company that does. And we've been on the forefront of AI in the sense that we have started building our own technology, systems, tools, leveraging artificial intelligence to give that to our agents based directly off what our agents' needs are. So in France, for example, you guys are going to be getting a new website. Every single agent will be receiving their own personalized custom website as well. And those
Très concrètement, on va avoir donc pour la France un système de site internet personnalisé. Ça, c'est possible aussi avec toute la technologie qu'on a. On est vraiment une boîte de tech, donc on est capable, eXp est capable d'offrir ça pour chacun, pour chaque agent.
Yeah. So that has been the start of it, and it really started with us using, even just ChatGPT. I think was the first introduction to AI for a lot of people.
Can you give us a date?
For me, the first time I started using ChatGPT it must have been early 2023.
Donc début 2023, il a commencé à utiliser ChatGPT et là, Félix faisait référence à la France en particulier, où en fait, si je me trompe pas, il y a des ChatGPT aussi en interne, c'est-à-dire que tous les agents ont accès à des ChatGPT spécifiques pour différents types de domaines, que ce soit l'intégration, que ce soit la diffusion d'annonces, que ce soit, enfin, tout est centré sur ChatGPT. What do you can you tell us about the digital twin?
Yeah, so digital twin was.
Je vais nous parler du digital twin justement.
One of the challenges I face, right, as the leader of eXp International, is that we have agents and staff all around the world, right, in different time zones. Some people in Japan, they're operating 12 hours of difference.
Voilà, on a un gros défi, c'est qu'on a des gens partout dans le monde avec évidemment des fuseaux horaires qui sont complètement différents. Donc parfois, il peut y avoir 12 heures d'écart entre les différents fuseaux. C'est compliqué à gérer.
And we have 200 plus staff around the world who I want to give them autonomy. I want to give them the ability to operate in an agile way, to operate quickly.
Je veux leur donner l'autonomie.
To make decisions for their market in real time. And that is less realistic when I'm traveling the world most of the time, and also when I'm just one person. Right? I don't always have.
Il passe son temps dans les avions, comme vous pouvez l'imaginer, donc c'est compliqué pour lui d'être disponible. Et il veut que les agents puissent avoir la réponse en temps réel, les country leaders.
with that, we started building the digital twin. So my digital twin is a custom ChatGPT that is a second version of Felix. And the way that I have
Il y a
built
une seconde version de Felix sur ChatGPT, c'est-à-dire que ils ont compilé tous les discours, en fait, tout ce qui fait l'essence même de la pensée et de ce qu'il met en place. Et donc, chacun peut interroger son digital twin. Il y a un digital twin pour Félix, il y en a pour d'autres personnes de la société aussi.
And the way that I built that digital twin is by spending hundreds of hours inputting information into the custom GPT, into my digital twin, that gets it to understand our goals, our mission, our vision, how we should think through problems, how I approach challenges. And also, if you have a GPT account, it starts to remember based off all the conversations you've had.
LLM, right?
Yeah. So it has a lot of context about me already. I just had to input how I think through challenges, how I think through things. And what we started doing is we record all of our team meetings. So any meetings I have with the staff, with the team.
Il enregistre tous ses réunions avec son staff. Et donc, en fait, il a un chat GPT-Y pour lui où il a passé des centaines d'heures et à mettre de l'information et à entraîner, hein, selon les modèles LLM, pour que ChatGPT puisse reconnaître et puisse anticiper la réponse à une question. En fait, c'est plus un état d'esprit qu'il donne plutôt que des réponses très construites, très concrètes. Donc, ça permet d'anticiper les réponses, en fait.
And so what that allows it to do is that the GPT every single day gets updated with the new thoughts, new updates, new meeting transcripts. And because of that, it always is up to date, and it knows who everybody on my team is. It knows what challenges they're facing. It knows what our goals are. And
tous les jours, ils savent tout le monde, où est tout le monde, où ils en sont dans leur travail. Enfin, il y a une vraie coordination déjà dans son équipe à lui, dans les différents pays où ils sont installés.
So because of that, I'm able to give my custom GPT to all of our staff, and they are able to basically talk to me, or a version of me, at any time, anywhere in the world. And
donc son staff, en fait, parle avec ce fameux digital twin, donc ce jumeau digital, on va l'appeler comme ça, partout dans le monde, quel que soit le fuseau horaire, parce que faut quand même qu'il dorme, donc il n'est pas toujours dispo, évidemment. Et par contre, tout son staff a accès à son jumeau digital.
And likewise, we have another custom GPT where we get the transcripts of every single meeting that every single staff does.
Deuxième custom GPT où ils mettent tous les résumés, tous les verbatims, pardon, des réunions, et ça l'alimente au jour le jour.
Yeah. So any meeting that happens across the world, we put the transcripts into that custom GPT, and then I at any moment can say, hey, what are we most focused on in France right now? And it'll tell me from
is this part of your GPT?
This is a separate GPT. This is a whole nother GPT.
Okay, but we're going to be on GPT. Okay. Hello, GPT. Voilà. Donc, nous, on y est aussi. Là, je lui demandais si on était si cette session-là était incluse. Il me dit que c'en est un, mais c'en est un autre. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's just a small example of a lot of amazing things we're doing, leveraging tools like ChatGPT. And there's a ton of use cases for agents of how they can implement that into their business. But if you aren't using ChatGPT as a business partner already, you really should start using it.
Il dit qu'il faut, si vous n'utilisez pas ChatGPT, il faut vraiment l'utiliser, et que en fait, il fournit aussi des cas d'usage, hein, pour tous les partenaires avec lesquels ils bossent au sein de eXp, et ils peuvent s'en inspirer pour, de manière éloquente, le redistribuer à leur team, en fait, qui puisse, c'est descendant, en fait, d'une certaine manière.
Yeah.
That's great. The international market expansion. I mean, I think I joined eXp. We were in 4 countries, so the growth has been phenomenal. So can you share your strategy for launching new countries with operational precision and reinforcing existing ones with local autonomy?
Yeah, for new countries, the number one thing, the question I get all the time is how many agents do you need? How big does the market?
Pour lancer les pays, c'est combien d'agents tu as besoin? C'est une question récurrente.
And the the short answer is none of that matters until we find the right leader in place. So
La réponse, c'est que tout ça n'a pas d'importance en fait. Et on revient à l'humain dont parlait tout à l'heure en introduction Félix. Ça n'a aucune importance à partir du moment où on a trouvé la bonne personne, le bon leader.
At this point, eXp is in so many different types of countries, different cultures, different rules, different laws. We know that our model.
Il y a tellement de pays différents, il y a tellement de lois différentes, il y a tellement de concepts différents, donc on peut pas aller dans tous ces concepts.
We know our model can work and that we can make changes and adjustments to localize our model, but what we need more than anything is a strong leader who is an expert in real estate in their market and in their field so that we can build from that.
Voilà, en fait, on peut l'ajuster le modèle et il est ajusté, il n'a pas toujours toutes les mêmes précisions, les mêmes éléments dans les différents pays. D'une manière générale, il reste globalement le même, mais il y a évidemment des déclinaisons locales et c'est ça la force de XP, c'est que à partir du moment où on a un bon leader, il est capable lui de l'ajuster et de se mettre en phase avec les contraintes du pays.
Yeah, and so that's really our focus and goal on strategy. Now, when we look at markets, we don't want to just be another real estate brokerage in that market. If we're
On n'a pas l'intention d'être juste un énième opérateur d'immobilier sur le marché. C'est pas du tout notre ambition.
We're going to open up and we are. Give me 1 second.
That's okay. Take your time.
If we're going to open up in a new country, the way that we're going to do it is by finding what our competitive advantage in that market is outside of just our model. We need to be able to build a real estate model that gives agents a better opportunity at building their business, at selling more homes in their market. Before anything else, before revenue share, before all of that, we are a real estate brokerage. And so our goal is to help agents get into more production.
En fait, quand on regarde pour un pays, avant d'être une société où on distribue du partage de revenus, on est d'abord une société immobilière, évidemment, et on regarde comment on peut faire la différence. On va étudier avec précision le marché et on va voir les forces et faiblesses du marché. On va voir comment nous, on peut adapter notre modèle pour avoir un avantage compétitif dans ce marché-là.
Yeah. And in the current existing markets, our goal is to continue to find ways to innovate, to add more value to the agents, bring them new tech, new tools.
Dans les marchés où on est déjà, on veut vraiment continuer à innover, leur amener des nouveaux outils. C'est la France, par exemple.
And continue to try to build, a value proposition that makes them stronger. And so partnering with top in class agents, that's why you'll see we've started having minimum requirements of experience and things like that for.
Voilà, on veut vraiment être l'agence qui produit avec des agents qui produisent. Donc, on a commencé à mettre en place des minimums en termes de production parce que on est dans l'IMO, donc il faut pouvoir vendre et on peut pas rentrer chez XP comme ça. Maintenant, ça devient une exigence en fait.
Yeah. So our main focus and the thing we track the most is the amount of productive agents we have, and that's what we're all in on. That's what we're focused on building.
Le KPI, donc vraiment l'indicateur principal, c'est le nombre d'agents productifs. Voilà. C'est ça qui nous intéresse. C'est pas le nombre d'agents tout court. La course à l'agent, c'est pas ce que veut faire XP. C'est vraiment la productivité par agent.
Correct. Yeah, so that's what we're focused on. And in local current existing markets, we've seen a massive growth in our core business, so our countries that have been open for quite some while. France has been actually breaking records this year in productive agent
La
count.
France a un peu cassé la baraque, hein, puisqu'elle a cassé elle a établi des nouveaux records en multipliant son chiffre d'affaires par plusieurs fois. Donc ça marche très bien en France. XP.
Last month, I think, was actually the month where France did the most transactions, most sales, most GCI ever. And you guys have continued to beat month over month this year. So it's been absolutely fantastic to watch. Congratulations to all of you guys who are here and a part of eXp France.
That's the mistake of Samuel. He's the man.
That's the mistake of Samuel. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job, and we have some Olivier, like you. We have some incredible agents, and so we're doing it differently than most companies, right? I know France actually is the market that probably has the most eXp-like, let's say, companies out there with IAD and Safety and all these other companies.
S'il parle de la concurrence, la France est un pays avec énormément de concurrence. C'est peut-être le pays qui en a le plus, avec IAD, avec plein d'autres sociétés. Mais la France a fait une très belle performance, notamment sous l'égide de Samuel Coe.
So very excited to see where France will be in such a short period of time. You guys have done such an incredible job. Where will you guys be 3, 4, 5 years from now?
Fair. I would like to understand what have been the biggest challenges and successes in recent launches, just Peru, Turkey, and the forthcoming, you mentioned Japan and Korea, or maybe Egypt. Quels ont été les plus gros défis et les succès dans les récents lancements de pays, que ce soit le Pérou, la Turquie, l'Égypte, peut-être le Japon ou la Corée? Thank you.
You want to learn more about what specifically? Sorry.
Yeah, the biggest challenges, I'm not the expert on that, but I heard that Peru, overnight, there was 100 people on board. Can you tell us about the Peru experience?
Yeah, in Peru.
Je suis pas l'expert sur le sujet, mais j'ai entendu que sur le Pérou, du jour au lendemain, il y avait déjà 100 personnes qui étaient dans la boutique. Donc, comment ça s'est passé? Explique-nous un petit peu.
Yeah, Peru is a fantastic launch. The way we open up countries now is a little bit different than before, right? We take maybe a little bit more time to do it in the back end, but we start building excitement, momentum, and that energy.
Donc, ce qu'on fait quand on ouvre un pays, en fait, on a un peu évolué. C'est-à-dire que on prend plus de temps, mais aussi on cherche vraiment à construire un momentum, ce paroxysme un petit peu, et arriver à ce qu'il y ait toute une excitation autour pour qu'après, évidemment, ça se concrétise dans les agents qui nous rejoignent.
And so with that, when we went to Peru, we already had about 15 agents who had onboarded, but when we went to go do our big launch event, we had close to 600 people who showed up to the event.
Donc, on avait 15 personnes qui étaient déjà agents au Pérou, et quand on a fait un événement de lancement, on avait 600 personnes qui sont venues.
So in such a short period of time, we were able to bring on about 150 agents in the first month, and then in Ecuador, just a couple months later.
La première période, on a eu 150 personnes en très peu de temps.
In Ecuador, just a couple months later, we ended up with 200 agents.
L'Équateur, dès le début, ils ont eu 200 personnes.
So we've had some tremendous growth in our new markets, and they all have different challenges, right? Peru and Ecuador were markets that were dominated by franchise models. They don't have any revenue share models. It's only like
voilà, ils ont chacun leur perspective et leurs défis. C'était des modèles dans ces pays-là dominés par des modèles avec franchise, sans partage de revenus.
Yeah. So we really dominated that market in that sphere early on, and Egypt, we're not quite open there yet, but
on n'est pas encore ouvert en Égypte.
All these countries have these can be very challenging real estate models because their laws are so different. So in Japan,
les lois sont tellement différentes, donc ça peut être très compliqué dans ces pays.
In Japan, for example, the real estate laws in Japan were written in the like the 1990s. So it didn't even account for a virtual model, a cloud-based model. So,
au Japon, il n'y avait pas de modèle virtuel. C'était pas possible puisque les lois ont été écrites en 1990, donc évidemment Internet n'existait pas.
So we had to build a model that worked in between those lines. So there's a lot of different things that we have to do in order to make our business successful and our model successful in these markets, and they all pose different challenges, but we have the same goal in all of them, right? To help offer every single agent in that market the opportunity to work at a professional business where they could build their own brand, earn rev share, earn equity, sell more.
Voilà, il y a beaucoup de défis, mais il y a un défi global qu'on essaye de décliner dans chaque pays. C'est vraiment le fait de la marque. la marque eXp, c'est d'abord vous. Et donc, on essaie de décliner ça dans chaque marché et puis aussi d'avoir un partage de revenus conséquent. Hein, on est 230 millions. Donc, c'est ce qui fait la différence aussi dans notre modèle économique par rapport aux modèles qui sont déjà établis dans les pays.
Yeah. So well, that's been some of the challenges, but it's been really exciting to get to see agents from all around the world join eXp, become a part of the model of the brand, and we're on track to do some pretty incredible things over the next couple of years. And so exciting to be on this journey with all of you guys and to continue forward in our international expansion. We've had a record-breaking 2024. We're probably going to have another
On a
record-breaking.
cassé le record là, enfin, on a dépassé le record en 2024 et on va aussi très certainement dépasser le record établi en 2025. Ça va arriver. But you know, going back to the tech side, can you share on a personal level? Can you share what app you have on your cell phone?
Myself,
If it's appropriate. Hein.
yeah, I've got a lot. You know,
À un
talk,
niveau personnel, parce qu'on est une boîte de tech, donc on aime bien quand même voir un peu ce que tout le monde a sur son téléphone. Donc, Félix, tu peux nous dire ce que tu as sur toi, sur ton téléphone comme application?
some of the sort of like the tech stack I'm using right now is obviously I use ChatGPT for basically everything.
J'ai ChatGPT sur mon I
I
guess it's
use
an Apple, all right?
Yeah, I use a tool called Fixer AI, which any agent in eXp who caps gets Fixer AI for free.
Donc, Fixer AI, ça c'est un outil très. Thank you for sharing this. I appreciate Félix. Il utilise Fixer AI, donc ça c'est un outil que tous les gens qui capent chez nous l'ont gratuitement. So what do you do with Fixer AI?
So Fixer AI is basically an email assistant. It'll organize your email for you completely based off priorities and things that you have to do, tasks you have to accomplish, people you have to respond to. It'll also start drafting messages before you. So when you get an email from Olivier saying, "Hey, Felix, I'd like to invite you to my webinar next week, Saturday at 2 p.m." My email will already be connected to my Google Calendar, so it knows if I'm available or not, and it'll already have a message drafted saying, "Hey, Olivier, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm available. Please send an invite." Blah 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 blah. So
Donc, Fixer AI fera beaucoup de travail administratif pour vous quand vous avez un email, par exemple. Là, vous recevez un email pour ce webinaire et en fait, si vous êtes dispo ou pas dispo, il va pouvoir répondre à la personne concernée en rédigeant lui-même l'email et vous faire gagner beaucoup de temps, évidemment.
And it starts learning as well from conversations you have
Et il
had. So
apprend des conversations également, cet outil-là.
yeah, it remembers that we spoke last week. It remembers that
Je me rappelle qu'on s'est parlé ensemble la semaine dernière.
and based off anything you have in your Google Drive, documents saved, things like that, it can pull that information. So it gets better and better over time. So I use
Il regarde sur Google, sur ton Drive aussi, et il s'améliore à chaque fois, un peu sur le modèle des langages LLM en fait.
use Fixer AI to organize my email. Every single real estate agent in the world lives and dies by their email, right? Most of the time. So it's a great tool for you guys. It's almost like a CRM. I also use it to do the transcripts for all my meetings. So any Zoom, Google Meet that I join.
Voir le verbatim de toutes ces réunions.
So Fixer AI actually joins those meetings as well, which is fantastic, and it allows me to keep all my information in one place and based off the meeting. So if you and I have a Zoom, let's say you're a client and you tell me I'm interested in houses in Paris, this price point, whatever, Fixer was at the meeting and it did the transcript. So when I go to email you, it already has all that information and it tells me, remember, Olivier was interested in this and that and that. So it's a really, really powerful tool that I think.
Donc dans les conversations, il va extraire les points saillants et il va vous les rappeler après. Il va vous donner l'information. Si par exemple vous avez parlé, si nous on a échangé sur Paris et sur le marché immobilier à Paris, en fait, il va se rappeler que moi je cherche à tel type de bien à acheter et il va faire des propositions sur ce type de bien.
So very exciting stuff. So Fixer, we've got ChatGPT. I use a tool called, I use two actually, but one is called Lovable. Another one is called Emergent.
Lovable, and the other one is?
Emergent.
Emergent.
Yeah, Emergent AI. So these are tools that you could build your own software, applications, websites. You can do it all completely yourself. And so I use those as tools to build different dashboards, systems, technologies, and things like that.
Vous avez besoin de tableau de bord, Lovable, voilà, ça marche très très bien. What's the difference between Lovable and the other one? Say again the other one, please.
Emergent,
Emergent.
ERGENT. So Emergent is probably better at building like mobile applications. You can build apps straight from Emergent and ship them into the App Store. So that is a fantastic skill set that it has. And then probably also as well with Emergent.
Vous pouvez directement le mettre dans le logiciel d'Apple, les apps d'Apple.
And with Lovable, it's probably better at building dashboards and pretty looking things and things like that.
Lovable est plus performant.
And in the back end of those tools, I'll use Supabase, which is like the database storage of Lovable, of Emergent.
Sur le back office de tout ça, voilà, il utilise donc ces outils. Et on a une question dans l'assemblée. Avec quoi qu'est-ce qu'il fait avec Lovable? Can you tell us? We have a question. We have questions popping up, and we have someone asking, what do you do exactly with Lovable, please, Felix?
So, for example, if you go to let's see, expecuador.com. If you go on the website,
allez sur le site de XP en Équateur, non, expecuador.com.
That entire website, everything was built on Lovable.
Tout ce site web que vous allez voir sur expecuador.com a été créé ex nihilo avec Lovable. Voilà un exemple de ce qui a été fait avec Lovable.
So that is just one of the ways that we're using Lovable. We also have built some revenue share calculators that you guys will see pretty soon on Lovable as well. So it'll be a calculator we can
Lovable, une autre utilisation qui a été faite, c'est tout ce qui est modèle de partage de revenus avec un calculateur assez puissant qu'on va vous partager bientôt. Donc vous verrez ça prochainement.
Yeah, and so those are just a few of the ways that we've used it and built it, and there's a lot more coming. The technology keeps getting better and better over time.
Plein de trucs qui arrivent, la technologie s'améliore tous les jours.
If you haven't played with Gemini AI by Google, it's a fantastic tool that you can create all different types of stuff. Let me see if I can pull this one up.
Voilà, Gemini aussi, l'outil de Google, il travaille avec et il fait pas mal de choses assez incroyables.
If you would, for example, let's say you were an agent and you got pictures of a house that you're going to put for sale. You could put those pictures of the house into Gemini and then say, hey, Gemini, I'd like to see this house from a drone view, for example, or, change the lighting, or I'd like to.
Voilà, en fait, ce que ça permet, c'est que Gemini, vous mettez vous avez repéré un super château, une super maison que vous voulez acheter. Vous mettez ça dans Gemini, il va vous faire une esquisse, en fait. Il va vous faire, et puis il va si vous l'avez, elle manque un peu de luminosité, il va vous en rajouter. Enfin, il y a plein d'options. Il peut vous rajouter pas mal de choses.
Yeah, so it offers some really, really fantastic use cases for you guys as agents to build some pretty incredible things. And so those are just, again, one of the few. There's so many AIs out there, but Gemini is one. If I was an agent, I'd be using it all the time because we pay so much for professional photography. If you want to get drones and videos, you can even, from the pictures of the house, you can make it create small videos, like 8-second videos.
Et vous pouvez aussi faire des petites vidéos à partir de simplement des photos, des petites vidéos de 8-10 secondes, voilà. That's great. Thank you for sharing this, Felix. We have a question. Vincent Barbier. Quelle est ta question, s'il te plaît, Vincent? Tu as levé la main. We have a question from Vincent.
Okay.
Can you? Let's see if you have a question here. Is he coming?
I don't see it, but if you see it, you can just tell me.
Yes. Otherwise, you put in the chat.
Est-ce qu'on m'entend ou pas?
Oui, c'est bon, Vincent, à toi. C'est ça les conférences qui pensent.
Parfait.
La capacité de travailler, de collaborer avec des VIP en direct et de poser vos questions. Vas-y, Vincent, on t'écoute.
Parfait. J'avais une question à propos du digital twins. Ma
Question that
question
pertains
était
to the
de dire
digital
si on
twin.
décide yes, if you want to create one, which app or how can we set it up, like update it every day, like you do, Felix?
So the easiest way to do it, like the greatest thing, is whenever you want to build anything using ChatGPT, you can just ask ChatGPT what you should do. That's the best part. So if you want to
Okay.
build it, you can tell ChatGPT, hey, these are my goals for my digital twin. So maybe it's,
En fait,
I
le
want
plus simple quand tu utilises ChatGPT, la question de Vincent, c'est comment on fait pour mettre à jour, et en fait, il suffit de demander à ChatGPT. Voilà la réponse. Thanks for sharing.
the question might be, I'd like to, build a digital twin that my clients can interact with, and it knows everything about my schedule, or it knows, about the market.
Un jumeau digital pour que mon client voit tout mon programme, mes horaires et tout ça. Et donc, je vais le faire avec le Digital Twin.
So those are some of the ways that I would continue to build my digital twin. And you could even ask it, like, what can I do with this outside of just showing my clients? Maybe you have a team or something like that.
Vous pouvez demander à ChatGPT, il va vous répondre aussi. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire d'autre? Voilà, donne-moi des suggestions, des cas d'usage, des choses intéressantes à faire.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Merci Vincent, super question, super intéressant. Est-ce qu'on a d'autres questions, les amis? On va continuer. What we're going to continue, obviously, and what we want to shed light upon, like to comprehend a bit better, what makes the agent-centric model at eXp Realty distinct from traditional brokerages, especially for agents working internationally?
That's a great question. I think the biggest difference between our model when it comes to being agent-centric is that, especially internationally, is most international companies are ran by franchises, and even the independent ones.
C'est des franchises, en fait.
And even the independent ones have a lot of different owners and investors and things like that. We give, in France, for example, we give 40% of all of the revenue that we get from commissions, of everything we take, we give back to the agents in revenue share, right? So last year we paid, I think, $250 million in revenue share back to our agents.
La grosse différence, c'est vraiment le partage de revenus. L'an dernier, on a distribué 250 millions.
So for us, that's a fantastic opportunity for our agents to build their business. And traditionally, that money, that 40% of the revenue that we would take would go to the CEO, the franchise owner, or the partners. Whereas for us, it doesn't, right? It goes right back to our agents.
Donc là, c'est vraiment la force de XP, c'est qu'en fait, il est capable de redonner énormément aux agents. C'est de l'argent qui, normalement, va aussi au PDG, ou c'est de l'argent qui est distribué toutes les étapes de la franchise. Et nous, on n'est pas une franchise, donc on peut le donner directement aux agents, en fait. Great. Can we talk about the margin? I think it's 1.5. You agree with that? It's very low, actually.
The what, sorry?
The net margin of eXp. I heard that. Could you say it's true or not? Or could you talk about it or not?
Yeah, our margin is different in every single country.
La marge nette est de 1,5% de XP. Ça vous dit un peu le modèle. Le modèle, il n'a rien de commun avec tout ce que vous pouvez voir sur le marché. C'est vraiment sur du volume. Please.
Yeah, our margin is different in every single country and market. And, our business model, when you think about what problem we solved in 2009 when we were founded, the problem that we set out to solve was that most real estate agents did not have any retirement available to them whatsoever. Right?
Voilà, le premier problème, thanks for sharing this, Félix. Le premier problème, c'est quand on a été créé en 2009, en fait, c'était d'abord pour répondre à une logique de système de retraite. Glenn, je crois que c'est ce qu'il avait en tête, c'est qu'en fait, il regardait et il voyait que les gens, ils avaient bossé 20, 30 ans dans l'IMO et ils n'avaient pas de retraite, quoi. Donc, ça a été le premier élément comment on peut mettre ça en place avec le partage de revenus.
Yeah. So the day they stopped selling homes was the day that they stopped making any money. And yeah, that the way we were able to change that was by building a business model that offered something like revenue share, where agents can earn additional income even if they're not actively selling homes, right? And most real estate agents tend to be the main income earner for their company or for their home, sorry. Yeah, and if something goes wrong, right, that God forbid something happens to them, they might not be able to work, then they stop making money. Or if a deal falls, we've all had deals fall through, we've all had bad times when the market slows down. Revenue share could be something that helps add to that. And to me, the most powerful revenue share stories are not the ones of people making millions of dollars. It's the single mom who's a real estate agent, or single parent who's an agent who makes an extra 500 euros, 1,000 euros a month, that helps them pay for their kids' school or their football or whatever it is, or a vacation. The power of revenue share.
Super intéressant. Félix nous partage en fait le modèle de partage de revenus, et c'est pas forcément c'est pas quelque chose qui est développé évidemment, mais dans le monde entier en général, la France c'est un peu l'exception, hein, mais en général il y a eXp puis il y a les franchises, mais dans le monde. Mais là c'est vrai que c'est un cas très intéressant où il explique que ce dont il est le plus fier, c'est en fait la sérénité que ça apporte au quotidien pour une maman qui est tout seule, qui élève ses enfants et qui peut avoir 500 ou 1000 dollars ou 1000 euros de partage de revenus tous les mois. En fait, ça crée beaucoup ça enlève de l'angoisse en fait. C'est assez fabuleux comme système. Alors ça se fait pas tout de suite, mais quand ça arrive, c'est pas mal. Well, thank you. We had another question, and this is Thomas Chomet, and it's about hotels. I think he has a track record in the hotel business, so he wants to know a little bit more about hotel, and he wants to understand his question. If I may, let me see his question exactly. If you had to sell hotel, how would you do it?
If I had to sell a hotel, how would I do it? I would find a real estate agent who's an expert in selling hotels and get a referral.
Voilà. Et en fait, il va pas le faire lui-même. Il va trouver un expert et il va faire un partage en fait. Et c'est cette personne-là qui va, un expert dans l'hôtellerie évidemment, dans la vente d'hôtels, et c'est lui qui fera le boulot.
I tell you just because I see so many, and I did it myself. I tried to sell we call it here multifamily, but it's like apartment buildings. Because I had an investor a client who bought a home from me who also wanted to invest in multifamily, and I tried to do it on my
I didn't
own.
hear what you were trying to sell. Sorry, say that again.
Like apartment buildings, like a building that has.
Ouais. Il voulait vendre des bâtiments, enfin des appartements dans des bâtiments.
And I had never done it, and I figured why not? I'll just do it myself. And I basically screwed up the deal a little bit. Because I wasn't.
J'ai planté le truc. J'ai planté le business.
Not an expert in selling apartment buildings, and I didn't want to cut a part of the commission to someone else, and so I spent months and months and months trying to get this deal done, and in the end, it ended up falling through. It didn't end up happening.
J'ai passé beaucoup de temps, j'ai passé des mois, et en fait, ça n'a pas marché, donc j'ai perdu du temps et de l'argent. Voilà, je voulais pas partager ma commission, et en fait, c'était une erreur.
And so if I would have just spent that time saying, okay, perfect, I am a part of eXp, I've got 80,000 agents worldwide, I know someone who's going to be an expert in hotels, I'm going to bring them in, this is my trusted partner, and then I cut a referral commission with them. My client is happy because I put them with an expert, and then they see me as the person to go to find anyone and anything, and I could spend my time doing what I know how to do and selling more homes and building more clientele. And then I would get my referral commission without any stress on that hotel. Now, if you want to enter the hotel space and you want that to be a part of your business, I would still do the same exact thing. I would find someone who sells hotels.
Pour rentrer dans le business de l'hôtellerie, je ferais exactement la même chose. Voilà.
If I would find someone who sells hotels, I would tell them I have a client who's interested in purchasing or selling a hotel. I'd like for you to come in. I'll give you whatever percentage you guys agree on. I want to be very involved in the process because I'd like to learn and I'd like to start doing this more.
Voilà,
That
il
way,
serait quand même très impliqué dans le process parce qu'il dira qu'il aime apprendre, mais c'est pas lui qui va prendre la majorité de la commission.
that's what I would do. So that is a common theme I see agents do is they don't just refer the business out. You're a part of eXp. You've got amazing agents all around the world who can help you, who are experts in those fields. Spend your time on what makes you the most return on investment. Usually those are the things you already know how to do well. Leverage your partners, build your affiliate partners. And when you refer a business out like that to the hotel guy, odds are one day they'll refer business back to you. So
Voilà, c'est vraiment une vision à long terme qui nous partage là, Félix, parce qu'en fait, déjà, vous avez tout le potentiel chez eXp avec plus de 88 000 agents qui peuvent vous aider. Vous allez trouver des gens qui sont évidemment dans l'hôtellerie, mais vous allez aussi satisfaire votre client et il va à long terme, il va revenir vers vous et vous confier une autre affaire. Donc en fait, c'est gagnant-gagnant. Voilà, ne pas s'improviser sur ce qu'on maîtrise pas, prendre des experts et miser la carte du long terme. Je pense que c'est un peu l'idée que Félix a en tête. OK. Just to, I mean, I see the clock is ticking. So just to move forward, I mean, we could spend hours with Felix, but we want to be, we want to respect his time frame, and we want to understand on a personal level what personal experiences or lessons have most influenced your approach to leading international growth within eXp?
Wow, that's a great question. I think for me, it's finding strong leaders to partner with. You know, the mentality that I can do anything or I'll figure it out, or you know, I want to do it myself because I don't trust other people to do it, I think is the wrong approach in any business. And so,
mauvaise approche, c'est vraiment de vouloir tout faire tout seul. Là, je lui ai demandé quelle expérience personnelle ou leçon ont le plus influencé son approche pour gérer tout le côté international, la croissance nationale chez eXp. Et il dit ça, il faut pas le faire tout seul. Il faut trouver la bonne personne et il faut déléguer, quoi.
So for me, the biggest lessons I've learned is learn to delegate, especially on the things that you don't like to do, aren't good at doing.
Surtout sur les choses que tu n'aimes pas faire, que tu n'es pas bon à faire.
Hire people or find partners that you can work with to do that. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned, and that's why we have such an incredible team on the international side who are experts at what they do, and that's why they're here. And so you know, our team works together and we leverage everyone for their strengths. So I would say that for sure. And then the second thing would be, you know, if you want to, especially if you're new into the business or you want to get into a new sector of the business, like you want to start selling hotels, for example, the easiest thing to do to skip the amount of learning time it takes to get there is to find people who are operating at a much higher level than you, and then become a sponge to everything they say and do. Spend time with them. If it's a top agent, tell them, how much is your time worth? Can I spend a couple of hours with you a week or a month just asking you questions? Can I shadow you on some calls? Can I learn from you? Can you be my mentor, essentially? And that's what I've been very lucky to have with Glenn, with Leo, with Samuel, with Adam Day, with so many incredible leaders at eXp. I've been able to learn from those around me and find out what are the things they're really good at, and then learn how I can do that for myself as well.
Super, thank you sharing this, Felix. Super intéressant. C'est la culture, la culture collaborative de XP qui est vraiment au centre du sujet. Et lui, quand il est arrivé, ben, il a passé plein de temps avec le PDG, avec Léo, avec Glenn et avec Samuel. Et c'est vrai qu'il a appris beaucoup. Et il conseille de faire ça, c'est-à-dire n'hésitez pas à aller vers des gens. Et moi, je le conseille aussi de le faire. Je pense que c'est super intéressant. Il conseille de leur demander un peu de leur temps et de demander s'il peut être là juste en écoute, hein, en version voilà, passive, mais juste pour absorber. En fait, c'est la stratégie de l'éponge, de vraiment intégrer le maximum d'informations que vous pouvez écouter, assimiler et poser des questions et apprendre. Voilà. Sitting by Nelly, hein, as the British say.
There you go.
Learning by doing.
Learning by doing. Don't be scared to say yes to more things. Probably, like, don't be scared to jump into things. No one is qualified to do anything until they've already done it. So that is
Ça,
that is
c'est
a
super
strong
comme
belief.
mentalité. That's the definition of an entrepreneur, Mr. Felix. That's great. N'ayez pas peur de sauter sur quelque chose, de prendre en charge quelque chose que vous n'avez jamais fait, parce que personne n'est qualifié, sauf à partir du moment où il l'a fait. Donc, en fait, tout le monde doit apprendre, et il faut être humble et apprenez avec les meilleurs. Donc, voilà, si vous savez vous entourer, en fait, vous irez très très loin. Well, Felix, it has been a blessing to have you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. J'apprécie beaucoup, beaucoup, beaucoup ton temps et tout ce que tu nous as donné comme information. And the mindset, maybe we can conclude on the fact that, you know, on your path, your personal path, you know, coming from Caracas, and this is maybe the first step of an entrepreneur, right? So we like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was an incredible journey, and the journey's kind of just begun. So thank you, Olivier, for having me. Thank you to everyone for attending. And if you ever have any questions or want to reach out to me directly, if you're an eXp agent, you could do it on Slack. And if not, connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn, and I'm always happy to chat.
Thank you. Toujours la culture de la collaboration. Voilà, on n'a rien à cacher chez eXp. Il est disponible si vous voulez le contacter. Si vous êtes agent eXp, ben vous pouvez le contacter évidemment sur Slack, puisque c'est notre mode opératoire. Et vous pouvez aussi le contacter sur LinkedIn si vous n'êtes pas chez eXp. Il sera ravi de vous répondre. Je vous remercie tous infiniment. Il est 19h. Donc, il est 13h de l'autre côté de l'Atlantique. It's 1 o'clock. It's time for lunch. Thank you so much.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Olivier. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
You
day.
take care. Thanks, Felix.